Red Sox fans have longed to hear it. The Boston Red Sox are world champions. Game over, series over, and the Red Sox are world champs again. And so are these fans. It hasn't happened at Fenway Park for 95 years. The Red Sox are world champions.
Boston organization has been well run for a long time now. From the top on down, here comes a 1-2 pitch. Red Sox win the World Series. 5-1 the final tonight. And the best team in baseball wins it all in 2018.
The Red Sox have won the World Championship. The Boston Red Sox beat the Los Angeles Dodgers 5-1. They win the World Series 4-1. And the Red Sox become the first team in the 21st century with 4 World Championships. Can you believe it?
Welcome to another episode of the Pesky Podcast. This is episode 7. I am the Ritt. With me, I got my two coaches, DC and Anthony on the Cape. DC, what's been going on, man? How you doing?
Doing well, man. How you doing? Living a dream?
Living the dream? I can't wait for this episode. Man, you guys didn't know. We had a little pregame meeting. I already got Anthony all fired up. Anthony, what's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good. Yeah, it's been a while. So a lot to talk about here. A lot going on this week.
A lot to talk about. The first thing we're going to talk about is me and my man DC last week at work. We're talking. And we're like, man, we're going up to Fenway Park this year. You know? He goes, man, we got to get a hold of Anthony. Have us meet us at Boston. We're going to Fenway Park together, right? And all of a sudden, my man DC, Anthony, can you guess what DC asked?
Yeah, no, he's like, where does Anthony live?
I just look at him, and I'm like, really? Anthony on the Cape. And he just had that look on his face, like.
It's a little peninsula at the southeast corner of Massachusetts.
Yeah,
it's a little, Cape Cod.
Just cut me a break. I got a 2-month-old at home, so I'm not getting too much sleep. No, but as soon as he said it, I'm like, God damn it, that makes a lot of sense.
No, what happened was started with calling in the sports hub. You know what I mean? Because like what I've been calling in the sports hub since the beginning. So they're like, "What's your name? Where are you calling from?" You know what I mean? And I was like driving around or something, so I just went with the Cape. You know what I mean? And it just kind of stuck from there. You know what I mean?
I mean, it makes a whole hell of a lot of sense after I thought about it.
Yeah.
Thanks for that, Josh. I appreciate it.
Hey, we got to do whatever we can to get the laughs. But hey, we're gonna sit there and start not with the Boston Red Sox, but we're gonna talk about the WBC. And this is just for DC, okay? There was a video out there that I seen, and I really enjoyed it. And it was put out there by Robbie Hyde. It was Trey Turner's Grand Slam last night to Hulk Hogan's entrance song. So, guys, I want to play this because I didn't like the outcome, but I really enjoyed the whole video.
We'll touch on that when we're done.
Yeah, let's play it.
I hear any sound.
Yeah, I didn't get any. I'm not hearing any sound on that.
Might be a dud. Yeah, I think it's a dud, buddy.
The USA lineup is so good. I mean, they literally had Trey Turner batting ninth. When they were playing Columbia, he was batting ninth. I mean, it's like Mookie Betts, Mike Trout.
Yeah, he was batting ninth last night.
Arenado.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, dude, when you have like literally one of the best baseball players on the planet batting ninth, I mean, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I was watching that last night, and I think they were up 1, and I was just like on FanDuel, so I checked it out, and the Red Sox, the U.S. was plus 124 money line, and they like had bases loaded. The other team did, Venezuela, but I took it. And as soon as I took it, they went down, and I'm like, God damn it. So I felt a lot better when I walked in the room and saw Trey Turner blast that grand slam, so I didn't jinx it.
Yeah.
Who did you want to win, Josh?
But me personally, I wanted Venezuela.
Bro.
Hey.
Why?
I sit there, this is the way I look at it. I think the United States takes baseball for granted a little too much. They want to sit there and put a lot of blame. Okay, the WBC is supposed to be for countries putting their best players out there, representing the countries, and just having fun. As soon as Edwin Diaz went down, and that could have been an injury from him doing anything, non-baseball related, everybody's like, shut the WBC down. You're ruining the Major League Baseball. It's like, dude, he wanted to go out there to represent his country. Let him. And that I'm just not a big fan of us, not wanting the other people to have the opportunity. So I'm not a big fan. I'll take Cuba. I'll take Japan. I'll take Mexico.
Well, I don't. No, I don't. The media reaction and the fan reaction to the injury doesn't. I don't know why that would change. See, people get too caught up in that too, where it's like, oh, I hate Yankees fans, so I hate the Yankees, right? Or you know what I mean? Like, so it's like because people are on Twitter, a bunch of idiots saying that they shouldn't have the WBC because he got hurt. Now I don't like, America or the Team USA. I mean, basically. The bottom line is if that was spring training, he got hurt celebrating. He didn't get hurt playing, right? There's a difference there. So nobody celebrates a spring training win. Nobody's jumping around in a pile on a spring training win. This is the point people weren't making clear. So it's kind of like putting an all-star football game before the season and somebody gets hurt. I mean, it's I get both sides of the argument. I think it's fine. My whole point is, guys, be careful when you're in a celebration mob. Like when there's 25, 30 men, big, strong men jumping around, be careful. It's easy to twist an ankle. It's easy to step on somebody else's foot. Like, be careful celebrating. It's not about playing. If somebody gets hurt playing the game of baseball, I don't have a problem with that. It's the celebrating that bothers me. So, but I don't know how you could spin that into like hating the USA or not wanting the USA to win. I want the USA to win, period. End of story. Like I am so happy the Dominican lost. They got embarrassed after everybody told me how great they were. And they do have a great lineup. They do have a great team. But it was so great to see the Dominican just get their asses kicked. So I can stop hearing people, act as if, and this is a great example for Red Sox fans too. Baseball, this is baseball. You don't win on paper. You go out and play the game. You can pitch and play defense, and anybody can win. That's baseball. So that's my thoughts.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna come out and say I disagree. With Josh. I don't think we're taken for granted. You look at the reactions from guys like Mike Trout, Mookie Betts out there. I mean, they're having a great time representing their country. I don't know. That's cool to see. And I don't know. I'm always going to root for the United States. That's just how I feel. And as far as the injuries, I mean, that's going to happen. You look at Nimmo. I think he's got cleared. He's fine like that. But that happened in a spring training game the next day, right after Edwin Diaz. So injuries are going to happen no matter what game you're in. But I agree with the injuries. I forget who it was. It was a power hitter for the Angels back, maybe the early
Kendry Morales.
Yes.
Yeah.
He tore his ACL. Celebrating a walk-off hit or walk-off home run. So you got to be mindful of that if you're going to do that. I get, playing for your country, it brings out a lot of emotions. But, these teams who have a lot of money invested in you. So I do see both sides. But I'm a big fan of the WBC. I think it's huge. I had a great time watching that last night. It literally felt like a playoff game. It was awesome. I just enjoy it.
Yeah, me personally, like I kind of wish there would be more WBC games, like maybe a tournament format of multiple games instead of just one and then you play the next team. I personally would love to see like a round robin type tournament. And Anthony, to sit there and bring up your point on the Dominican, it just shows you might have the best names, on there, but if you don't have the chemistry, you can't sit there and play competitively.
And it's pitching and defense. It's pitching and defense. Look at the Julio Rodriguez, right? He made that play in center field where the ball got past him when Lindor hit it, right? It's if you pitch and play defense, you have a great chance to win any baseball game. I don't care who you are. If you pitch and play defense, if the other team doesn't score, all you need is one run. You can manufacture one run. You pitch and play defense. That's what the Red Sox are going to need to do this year. Just like it doesn't matter who's on the Dominican team. It doesn't matter who's on the Yankees or the Blue Jays. It doesn't matter who's on some of these other teams. The Red Sox can beat anybody because anybody can beat anybody. It's baseball. Anybody can go out there and throw high 90s and shut the other team down. Shove those bats right down their throat. Play defense. Play the fundamentals. Play good, solid baseball. So that's a good example, the Dominican losing, of why I think the Red Sox have a great chance this year. Same principle. It's baseball. You win on the field, not on paper.
Hey, Josh,
but I agree. I love it. I love the WBC, but I just, I'm definitely more interested in faster. Yeah, it's true.
Hey, the right now, to me, the hungriest dogs is Team Japan. You got Ohtani. You got our monster over there, Yoshi. So and those two, you sit there and see them. Yoshi went and hit a home run the other night, and just Ohtani was just all ear to ear smiles, having a great time with them. I would love to see that in a Red Sox dugout.
Yeah, that was a bomb. That was a bomb he hit too. It was off a lefty as well. So it was lefty versus lefty. That was good to see. I enjoyed that. But yeah, no, I'm hoping for US Japan in the final. I mean, that's what I want to see. I think that's what most people want to see,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So and just
Shohei on the mound.
Oh, and just to clear it up a little bit, it's not that I hate the USA. I just want them to be put in check. That's all. So
I'm just remembering that keep it family oriented. That's all I'm thinking in my head right now.
So, but man, you want to talk pitching? Since the last time we had a podcast, we had some good stuff happen. Whitlock was back on the mound, last Wednesday, looked really good. Bayo was on the mound today and looked really good. So I think he's still going to miss the start of the season, but man, like I loved how listening to Yankees fans a couple weeks ago, them saying our rotation is garbage, it is injury prone, it is inexperienced. But now fast forward, and we're going to have a healthy rotation while all their guys are on the IL. And I love it.
I thought that was Red Sox fans saying all that negative stuff. I heard a lot of Red Sox fans saying how bad our team is and our rotation is, and this guy, that guy. Nothing's gonna, none of these guys are gonna pan out. We're a 75-win team. That's what I've been hearing from most Red Sox fans this whole offseason. But the pitching is coming around. I mean, Whitlock looked good. It's good. I didn't see Bayo today. I was watching the Bruins, but I was flipping back and forth. I didn't see Bayo, but was that an actual game he was pitching in, or was that on the side?
I'm pretty sure that was today's game.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a game.
Okay. I didn't see that. That's good. That's good. Tanner Houck looked really good yesterday. Kluber's been looking good. Crawford. I'm sorry. Yeah, Crawford looks good. I mean, right now Winkowski looks really good. I mean, honestly, I love the way our rotation's looking.
Yeah, and it actually shows a lot of promise for years to come with those young guys stepping up now and being able to handle the major league level. So, DC, what are your thoughts on our outlook on the starting rotation now when we're less than 2 weeks, about 10 days away from opening day?
Yeah, I mean, I think it looks pretty decent, man. I tried not to overreact a couple weeks ago when we were kind of dropping like flies as far as rotation, even like outside the rotation. But Whitlock, he should be back after 1 or 2 starts missed. Paxton, I think I saw Alex Cora said he's throwing a bullpen another one in another 3 or 4 days. See how that goes. Everything goes well with that. He could be making starts by the end of April. Brian Bayo looked awesome today. I mean, throwing 3 strikeouts against the Phillies in an actual game. That's good to see him in an official game. Yeah, I mean, at first I was a little worried. I'm not gonna lie, but I mean, after time, time heals everything. So we're looking pretty decent in there. Crawford, just like Anthony said, is doing really well. Winkowski, those 2 could fill in no problem for a couple spot starts. Get us to Whitlock, Bayo. Like I said, Paxton. As long as there are no setbacks, he should be back by end of April. So I think we look a lot better than I thought we were, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I know it's going to be one of our segments later, but this young pitching staff we have, led by Chris Sale, man, I like our chances. I like our chances. I said 86 wins, easy for the season. I'm still sticking with 86 minimum. But we need to get a really hot start of the season, and I can see us getting a nice jump start to the season.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. I mean, 2 innings. This is for Bayo today. I didn't see it, but two perfect innings, 3 Ks. So awesome. And if he's healthy, like you said, he's going to be behind a little bit, but mid to late April, he could be in the mix. Whitlock will be back by then. And you got, like you said, Sale, you got Kluber, and you got Pivetta as sort of the veterans there. And then you got all these young guys. So it's coming together. It's coming together.
Man, I loved hearing Pedro. Pedro said Bayo is better than he is at that age. And I kind of sat back a minute, and I was like, really? Like, or are you just trying to hype up this kid because he's been working with him now for 2 seasons? Because I can't wrap my mind around that Bayo at that age is better than Pedro at that age.
Yeah, that's an endorsement and a half right there. I'm not gonna get too lost in that. I don't want to get my hopes up as far as that either. But obviously, like we talked in past episodes, him working with Pedro is that's awesome. That's gonna be great for him. He's a Hall of Famer, so that can only do anything but good things for him. But yeah, to say that he's better, he'd know better than I would. But I want to see that translate to the field. Keep him healthy, see if he can command the strike zone. And then I'll start, maybe thinking about that.
That's that changeup. That's the key. It's to have that nasty changeup this early on. That's the key. So yeah, he's got all the makings. Little setback there, but he's definitely he's probably got the highest ceiling out of any of these young guys. So
man,
keep him healthy.
I sit there and love how, like Anthony, you and I were talking. If he could set up batters the way Pedro did, just throw the heat, and then all of a sudden, like the 5th inning, you start throwing that nasty changeup to get the batters like thinking. Man, he could sit there and easily pick up a 16-17 games win season this year.
That would be that's high. That's high, especially without starting the year. But the thing with starting pitching and wins is like it's not the same as it used to be because guys don't go deep in games. You know what I mean? It used to be if you started, you were going to factor in most of the time. You know what I mean? So it was like guys were 20-12. You know what I mean? Like they just don't get that deep into games anymore, so that they end up going like 12-7. You know what I mean? It's just because they're not going deep. So I think that's a little too high. Especially we don't know exactly when he's going to start the year, and how many starts he's going to get. But I just look health. Just give me health. Just give me health and continue to grow and develop, and I'll take that. You know, I don't want to put any specific stats on a rookie like that, or a young, basically a rookie. That'd be amazing though. If you, I don't expect, to be honest with you, I don't expect any Red Sox pitcher to win 15 games this year.
Me neither.
I just don't see it.
Maybe 13, 14.
Yeah, that'd probably be the high mark.
Okay. Let's throw this out there. We're starting with DC. Who's going to have on the Red Sox pitching staff the highest win total?
I'm going to keep riding the train I've been on. I say Chris Sale. I think he puts a great season together and stays healthy. I'm going to go Chris Sale.
Anthony, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, the safest bet is Corey Kluber, because I think he is the one guy who he's cool, calm, and collected, and nothing's going to bother him. He's just stoic. He's a stoic out there on the mound. He just goes out and he throws, and he knows how to pitch. So he's getting the ball opening day. He's generally a workhorse that stays healthy, goes a little deeper into games, a little bit more efficient. He's got better command than a lot of guys, so he's a little bit more efficient. So yeah, I'm going to go Kluber, probably in that 13-14 win range.
Okay, I'm going to go a dark horse, and I'm going to say, as long as he can stay up on the major league roster, I'm going to say Cutter Crawford. Well,
wow.
I sit there and love him. It's not like he's going to be. I'm not predicting him to go like 2-3 games over everybody else, but I see him getting 14 wins, and like Kluber 13, Sale 13. But I loved it the way that Crawford looked last year against some of the potent lineups, the Blue Jays, the Rays, the Yankees. So he has that composure of, I can sit there and do it. So
I just think he's going to be in the bullpen, though. He's going to be in the bullpen once everybody gets healthy. There's no way he's going to last in the rotation with Bayo and Whitlock coming back,
See, and I always pick Whitlock as a bullpen guy.
Right.
That's where I always see him at. So that's why I always had Crawford being in the starting rotation. So, but bullpen, let's talk about bullpen. Before this week, we were talking about the final spot, who's going to be in the bullpen. But now looks like there's going to be 2 final spots, because they're going to be looking for another lefty with Rodriguez going down. With the oblique, he's going to start the season on the 15-day IL. Anthony, you want to start us off on this one?
Yeah, I literally just found out about it. You told me before the show. I wasn't even aware. It's just hard to keep up right now. There's a lot going on, and a lot of these games are during the day. And then I didn't hear anything about Joely Rodriguez. So if you take him out of the mix, you got Richard Blyer as your lefty. So if I had to pick a second lefty, this kid Ryan Sheriff, he looks pretty good. I liked what I saw from him. I think that the kid Mosqueda looks pretty good. The problem with him is it's spring training. He's young. He's kind of coming from nowhere. I don't know if he's ready. So honestly, it's probably going to be Sheriff, I would think, unless they just decide to go with one lefty. And, but if I had to pick a second lefty, I mean, I think right now it's a decision as well, just the last bullpen spot between like Zach Kelly and having like a guy like Josh Winkowski in there as a long reliever. You know what I mean? So which I want, by the way. I think it's great to have a guy who can pitch multiple innings out of the bullpen, have a long reliever, which we didn't really have last year at times. So I'm a fan of putting in Winkowski, and then the last spot, I guess, Sheriff. If you need another lefty, he's probably the next guy up.
Yeah, this looking on MLB News here. Sheriff has played 44 games of MLB experience over parts of 4 seasons, posting a 3.65 ERA. Mosqueda, he's an international free agent signed by Boston in 2015, carries a bit more intrigue. He throws strikes and has deception, Cora said. Analytics-wise, His stuff looks really good, and he can go multiple innings. So, man, it could be a toss-up of, who they want. They either want MLB experience or they want the intrigue. So, man, that lefty spot is going to be a toss-up, like you said, unless they go with just one lefty in the bullpen.
I would say they could possibly go with Sheriff, or I think in the same article that you just read from, I was just reading, Chaim Bloom could maybe make a trade before the end of spring training for another lefty. I think they go Sheriff. Kind of along the same boat as Anthony as that.
Well, the other thing is none of those guys are on the 40, right? So this is going to start to become an issue when you have Alfaro and Tapia, as well as all these guys we're talking about, either one, Mosqueda or Sheriff. None of those guys are on the 40. So now, granted, Caleb Ward has kind of played himself out of a spot, right? I mean, Caleb Ward has just been awful. So he's probably going to be released. He's probably going to be DFA. That's going to open up one spot, and then maybe they put James Paxton on the 60. That's another spot. I don't know how many spots they're going to have. So we'll see. How they manage that it's going to be, that's a big part of it. You can't just take any of these guys and put them on there. Somebody has to come off the 40. So it's going to be tricky. He's going to have his work cut out for him because there's so many injuries right now. And a lot of these guys, they're not going on the 60, but they're not going to be there at the start of the season. So they're, it's like Mondesi, Bayo, Whitlock, all these guys, like they might not be ready to start the year, but they're not going to go on the 60. Same thing with Connor Wong. You got a lot of guys in that same boat that are kind of like iffy, and it's going to be hard it's going to be some tough decisions. So what might end up happening is what they might just say, we'll just put out Caleb Ward or we'll put out, somebody that's already on the 40, use them for like a week or 10 days, then DFA them. You see what I'm saying? So that way they don't have to mess with the 40.
Yeah, that 40-man roster is kind of tricky, like you said. They already have to have a spot for Alfaro. So, like you said, I think Ort is the odd one out. Unless Chaim Bloom has a few tricks up his sleeve where he might be having a couple people calling. Like they DFA'd Matt Barnes, and then they ended up, trading him to Miami. So, he could try to pull something like that to free up another roster spot. It's going to be very intriguing because Ort, I think, like you said, he played himself out. He looked horrible that last outing. The
whole spring, he's been terrible.
Yeah. And
he's never too good to begin with. He's like 31 years old. He's a journeyman. They got him in the Rule 5 draft. He's not a legit guy. He's a 4A guy. So to me, he's easily the first one out off the roster. But it's going to be interesting to see how this whole opening day roster comes out, Josh, because like you said, you gotta free up a spot for Alfaro. That's a definite. I would assume everybody's sort of agreeing, and we might get into this later, but like Tapia's got to be on the roster, right? I mean, how can this guy not have earned a job? He's been dynamite over Duran. You know what I mean? What an interesting thing with Dahlbeck and Chang. I mean, because Dahlbeck's playing shortstop right now for us, and he's looking good. He's hitting. He's a young player. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of guys who it's like we don't know exactly what this opening day roster is even going to look like. Don't be shocked if there's a surprise or two.
Is Chang actually on the 40-man roster?
I think Chang is on the 40-man roster. Yeah, he's on because when they put Story on the IL, they added Chang.
So yeah, we could sit there and Dahlbeck has been. I hate to say it, he's looked comfortable. We could say at shortstop. Yeah. Like he's not Carrera or Trey Turner, Xander Bogaerts, but he's able so far in the last couple games be able to hold his own over there. So maybe they sit there and DFA Chang if they need to for a spot.
Well, no, I mean Chang's been great in the WBC, so I just think it's great to have both guys. I'm just saying, like when you look at Dahlbeck, the guy can play third, he can play a little short, first, DH, he's got power. I'm just saying he's a versatile guy to have on the bench, and then Chang is kind of similar. I mean, he's got some pop and he can play multiple positions. So They've just got some interesting decisions. I don't know, what they're going to, like, let's say Bobby Dahlbeck starts the year in Worcester. How are they going to use him down there? Are they going to stick him at first, third, short? Are they going to move him around? Are they going to try to develop Dahlbeck into this utility role? It's interesting because I think that the more positions you can play, the more valuable you are to the team.
I could be wrong, but did he play any outfield at all ever?
No, see, I've been wanting him to. I think being able to use him in left field would even be just an extra spot. Like if you needed to put him out there for a few innings, I don't understand why he couldn't. He's got a great arm. He's athletic. So I wish they would, but I think what they're doing is this spring, clearly they're trying to get him into shortstop. You know what I mean? They're trying to get him more comfortable playing shortstop because let's face it, if you play 10, 12 games in spring training at shortstop, you're going to get comfortable, as opposed to last season, they threw him in once at short because it was like an emergency and they just threw him in at short. You're not going to be as comfortable there. But if you've already played 10, 12 games in the spring, So I think basically maybe down the line, they could get him out and left. I just feel like trying to get him in at shortstop is a big thing. So they've been focusing on that. But yeah, he's looked comfortable over there. He's fine. As for a backup, I think it's fine.
Yeah. So and like DC said a couple, I think an episode or two ago, I'm kind of liking. I'm jumping on DC's train of. I like the problem. We have too many people we could put on the 40, and our problem is now getting who do we DFA because they're all too good. You know what I mean? You got Tapia, who's been really electric for us. Alfaro is definitely good. Has to make the roster, opening day roster. Now you got the bullpen. Who are we going to squeeze in? Like there's a lot of give and take, coming to where we have too many people that need to be on the 40, but I like it. Yeah,
no, it's definitely a good problem to have.
So
as opposed to last year when we had a ton of guys who we could have released at any time, Darwinson Hernandez and Franchi Cordero and. Just go down the line. We did not have a good roster last year. This year, it's definitely looking deeper. A lot more young talent.
Definitely.
So much deeper, man. Our bench is light years ahead of what it was last year, I think.
Yeah.
So this is going to lead us into it's a fan favorite, fair or foul segment. So we got a couple topics to go over this week of fair or foul. So we're just going to start from the top, and we're gonna work our way right back down. So we're going to start with Tristan Casas is the best choice for the leadoff spot. Okay, I'll sit there and start it off with a tweet that was sent out. Little technical difficulties. Like always.
Look like you were playing Pong on your computer. It's going back and forth.
Dang right. Okay, this is from Sox Dingers. He tweeted out, Tristan Casas, an option for leadoff for the Red Sox this season. So if you guys want to sit there and check out the article, it's beyondthemonster.substack.com. Man, we'd sit there and talk about this several times. DC, let's start off. Fair or foul? Casas is the best choice for leadoff.
I know that we kind of mentioned a couple episodes ago. I think it might have been on before Anthony joined the show. At first, I wasn't all for it, but after kind of watching and just kind of reading a little bit, I'm all for it. He's patient. He puts bat to ball. He gets set up the table for Devers, Turner, Yoshida. I think he has 4 walks this spring so far, so that's showing that he's seeing the ball well. I'm a big fan of it now. Like I said, at first I was a little iffy, but I'd like to slot him in as number 1.
Okay, Anthony, what about you?
Oh, it's absolutely fair. I mean, I had this, I've been talking about this for a while, and I want my leadoff. The number one thing I look for in a leadoff hitter is on base percentage. And especially in our lineup when Devers looks like he's going to be in the number 2 hole. So if I've got my best hitter 2, that means my number 1, the guy in front of my best hitter, has got to be a high on base guy. And there's if the other thing is if you're taking Yoshida off the table, right? Which apparently that's the case. Apparently Yoshida's not going to lead off. He never has. He's always been in the middle of the order. Cora's not going to do it. He doesn't want to put him and Devers back to back. So under the presupposition that Yoshida is out as leadoff hitter, the next best choice for me is definitely Casas, because he's patient. He sees a lot of pitches, and we don't have any speed anyway. There's no speed anywhere in our team anyway. So we're not thinking about speed. All we're thinking about is on base percentage, and I think it's a perfect spot for Casas, and just a deadly leadoff hitter. I mean, he has a chance to be a stud at the leadoff spot.
Yeah, no, Alex Cora actually just came out today and said Yoshida is going to be open this season as a cleanup hitter.
Right. So it's going to be Devers 2 and Yoshida 4. As I've said all along, Turner will be 3. The biggest question is 1 and 5, I guess. Do you go Duvall or Verdugo 5? Well, a lot of it depends on who's batting leadoff, right? So
Absolutely.
once you figure out who's batting leadoff, the rest of the lineup after Yoshida will fall into place.
Yeah, I'd say Duvall, then Verdugo. If
So-
Casas leads
And
off.
then Arroyo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then McGuire and Kike Hernandez. That's your lineup right there. That's a great line. I think that's a dynamite lineup because Duvall's been hammering the ball recently. He's had
Hunter
3
Renfroe.
bombs, bro. Yeah, exactly. Maybe even better than Hunter Renfroe.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
Just in terms of like, I don't know. He's definitely seems like a little bit more of like just a better overall ball player than Renfroe. Even though Renfroe had great power and a great arm. Maybe Duvall's a little bit more of a well-rounded all-around player. We'll see, but he definitely looks pretty good so far.
Yeah,
So
I'm stoked
we got-
for them.
We got 2 fairs, and I will jump on the fair right after opening day. Opening day, I am still ride or die with Verdugo. Just because I cannot let my pride get in the way. Or I'm going to let my pride get in the way. Yeah, there we go. And Verdugo will be lead off for opening day. And then we're going to go right into, for game 2, Tristan Casas for at least a good portion of the season.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. We don't know who the leadoff hitter is yet, and when the season is 10 days away. The season's 10 days away. We have nobody knows who's going to be batting leadoff. I still think if I'm putting money on the table, it's Kike Hernandez because I know Alex Cora too well. I think it's going to be Kike Hernandez. I've been saying it should be Casas.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know I don't think Cora has the balls to do it. We'll see. I can't wait to see that first lineup to see who's batting leadoff.
And that's the problem right now. Like, we're just now getting some of our guys back from the WBC. Kike comes back tomorrow. Devers had a horrible, I think it was like a 2 for 14, 2 for 15 for at bats in the WBC. But he sit there and said, it's just the WBC. He goes, I'm still getting pitches.
The problem, the worst part is he wasn't playing third. So it was like he's not developing at third at all during that time. He's just DHing. You know what I mean? So, in that sense, it is kind of taken away from the Red Sox a little bit because our third baseman hasn't had a chance to play third in a couple of weeks,
Yeah. But I got to sit there and say,
He had a nice play yesterday, though. That was pretty nice.
He had a great play. That was a really nice play.
Oh, and then the scoop from Casas over on
first.
Yeah.
Great pick.
If that's the same, the same play we're talking about.
Oh yeah, that was the one. That was a great play.
Man, just sitting there talking about this a little bit. I can't wait. I can't wait to sit there for our opening day live show. Man, we've got some great names coming on. We've got Soxada coming on. She's great coming back. Her best friend's going to be also on the podcast. Christina Puentes. We got RST Taylor. We've got Jeff Brown coming on. Aiden King. Who else we got? We got George Sutherland. We got our man Josh Lynn. Followed by, DC, Anthony, and myself. I can't wait. I cannot wait.
Damn, my boy's going to be ball by himself.
It's going to be a 9-on-1 over-the-top battle royal.
He can hold his own though. He knows his shit.
So, but man, that is live. 2:00 we're starting. The game starts at 2:10. DC and I are out at work at 1. Thank God. Opening day.
I got an easy next 2 weeks. I got off this Tuesday and then next Monday and then half day Thursday that following week.
Man, baseball's just around the corner, guys. Can't wait. But fair all the way around for Cassis, the best choice for leadoff. Next up, fair or foul. Man, there was a lot of tension on Red Sox Twitter over this. Corey Kluber deserves the opening day start over Chris Sale. So we're gonna go right for the pitcher. And Anthony, fair or foul?
You know, it really bothered me at first when it was first announced because I wanted the statement of sort of like, hey, Chris Sale's back, right? Like Chris Sale, our ace, is back. He's healthy. He's ready to go. So when it first came out, it bothered me a little bit. But the bottom line is Chris Sale has let us down 3 years in a row. I think we just lost Josh. But, you know, Chris Sale's really let this team down, this organization down for 3 years in a row. And I like the idea. I just really like Corey Kluber. He's very solid. He's very stoic. He's not – Chris Sale is too hyped up, right? He's way too hyped up. It's like I'm afraid he's going to throw his arm out on the first. You know what I mean? He's that type.
Oh,
It's opening day. He's so fired up that like he goes too far and like re-injures himself or something. So I like the idea of letting Kluber, who obviously can handle it. Nothing bothers the guy. He's just total stoic on the mound. I like that. And it shows that, you know what? We're not going to rely on Chris Sale as much. We can do this without Chris Sale. We've got depth. I don't know. It's just something about the fact that pulling him out, I'm actually for it. It's just it's a statement to say, you know, we're not putting all of our eggs in one basket on Chris Sale opening day against Baltimore, by the way, which is not a great matchup for Chris Sale. They have a lot of right-handed power hitters. So I've actually grown to like the fact that they're doing that.
I agree. Kind of echo what you just said. At first, I was a little pissed off about it. It kind of bothered me. Just because Chris Sale isn't my guy. And kind of like you said, you know, you're getting your guy out there. That's your ace. The guy that you paid all that money to that wants to come out and prove himself. And you go with Corey Kluber. So at first, I was kind of annoyed. But, I mean, Kluber's been tearing it up. He had a good year last year. He was healthy. And kind of what you just said, to kind of like stop the hype with Chris Sale, because, you know, something free could happen on opening day, which would be terrible. That would just be a shot to the heart. But I mean, Kluber in 4 games, 2-1 in the spring training, 14 strikeouts, which is good to see. So, I mean, at first I wouldn't say he did, but after thinking about it and talking and seeing Twitter and stuff like that, I can agree that's probably the best way to go. Because who else are you going to go with? You're going to go Pivetta? Then I'm going Kluber all day over.
Yeah, it's Sale. Yeah, it's Sale or Kluber. You know, those are, you know, there's no, if they would have put Pivetta there, I would have been like, that would have really upset me.
Yeah. I kind of like AC's thoughts on this. He just wants to give Sale that, okay, you haven't been healthy for 3 years, like fully. Sit back, take the atmosphere in of opening day. Because when was the last time like Sale was able to pitch that he wasn't out there on opening day? It's been quite some time.
Until 2019, he got the opening day start and he got his lips ripped off at Seattle because he wasn't healthy. He got, you know, and that just led to a horrible season. So that was the last time. It's been 4 years.
Oh man, I hate you brought that up. That opening West Coast trip we were on in 2019 was horrendous.
Everybody got smashed. All of our pitchers were hurt, and it was like it was like we started the season knowing we had zero chance of ever doing anything that season, just right from that opening week of the season, just because of the way of the health of our pitchers. Everybody was injured from the World Series run the year before. Evaldi, Sale, everybody was injured. So it was like, great, we have no pitching to start the year. Awesome. All of our best pitchers are getting racked and they're all hurt. Great way to start the year. We had no young pitching. We were relying on like Eddie Rodriguez, right? Like he was like our ace, which he did have a great year, but just wasn't enough.
And what, that was his contract year, wasn't it? And he left us right.
Well, no, he 21 was, yeah.
Oh,
So
no.
2020 he backed out basically for COVID. He opted out for COVID. So he had a career year in 2019. Right. Yeah, he had a career year in 2019 when everybody was hurt. 2020 he backed out on COVID. 2021 he was okay, and then he left in free agency last year.
Yeah. But
he's struggling with the Tigers. He's really struggling with the Tigers.
Yeah, he's not happy there.
Yeah. Eddie, how's that money now? You could have been still here in Boston helping us out.
Yeah,
he was another guy. He was another guy I was happy to see go. I never liked him.
Yeah, he was good
personally.
Like the first couple of years, kind of like a little project we stole from the Orioles, but he just couldn't get his command down, man. He was just, he'd have one good, like a couple of string of good starts, and then he'd go out and 5 straight starts. He'd give up like 5 earned runs in the first couple innings, and then like 4 walks. It sucked to watch, man. It was brutal.
Yeah. I think he had mental issues. I think he's got mental issues, and that's what we've seen since he's been on the Tigers. So he's kind of just got some mental stuff where he's not all there, and he's just not focused, and he's not, he's no Corey Kluber, as we say. Corey Kluber, nothing bothers Corey Kluber. He'll be out there on the mound, mowing people down, giving you innings. He's solid.
Oh yeah.
So, but no, I like the Kluber opening day. Let Sale sit back and enjoy the day, because he's going to have plenty of times to get that ball. And hopefully we get off to a nice hot start,
Yeah.
Takes
a lot of pressure off. Takes a lot of pressure off Chris Sale is what it does.
Yeah. I look at it, if Kluber can get us the W, and then we have Sale going, for the second game of the season, man, I like our chances to start out 2-0. So there's another fair all the way around. So here we go. Tapia deserves to be on the roster over Jarren Duran. So I think this is where we're going to start to beg to differ. DC, let's start off with you.
So fair or foul that Tapia deserved a spot over Duran. That was the question.
Over Jarren Duran.
Yeah, I'm going to go absolutely dead center fair. I'm excited to see Tapia on our team. I don't know if you guys realize how much he destroyed us last year. I think in 15 games, he hit 290. He had 3 home runs, 17 RBIs. He just demoralized us last year when he was on the Blue Jays. You know how I feel about Duran. I just don't think he has it. I don't think he has the mental fortitude to be playing in Boston. I think he gave Tapia the spot. And he's one of the 2 guys that we have that can, wreak havoc on the base pass with him and Mondesi when he comes back from being hurt. But yeah, I say fair, absolutely. I'm taking Tapia all day.
Okay, Anthony.
Yeah, 100%. I think that Duran made a huge mistake going to play for Team Mexico in the WBC because in the last couple of weeks he's been sitting on the bench observing, and Tapia has been stealing his job here in spring training, and he's just like, when I watch Tapia play, to me, if it was between Tapia and Verdugo, I would give Tapia the edge, because there's just something about Tapia that he gets it, right? He's not up there trying to hit home runs. He's not up there trying to do what he can't do. He knows himself. He knows what kind of player he is, and he knows what he needs to do at the plate, and he does it. It seems like he has a plan, and he's very exciting. He's just somebody you want to see on the field, and he's dynamic. He's got a little bit of pop. He likes to go the other way. He's got a little bit of speed. And honestly, if you said, I don't think either guy's a great center fielder, but if I had to pick I would rather have play center field, it would probably be Tapia, because I've seen Duran play center field and he's a friggin' nightmare. So unfortunately, Duran's just not ready. He needs more time. And he's not going to be playing center field in Worcester either, because they're going to have Rafaela. So most likely Duran is going to be a left fielder from now on. But he needs time. He needs to continue to work on his defense and his approach at the plate. Tapia is ready now to make an impact. I don't have to worry about Tapia. Duran is one of those guys. He's still a big question mark. And so to me, it's an easy choice. It's Tapia all the way.
Well, here we go to beg to differ. I will sit there and say foul. And my biggest thing will be, unless Chaim Bloom has a backdoor deal waiting for Jarren Duran, I don't see any way we could open up a 40-man roster spot for Tapia. So I'm going to say foul. Jarren Duran is part of the 40-man roster. Before he left for the WBC, he was looking really well. You know, he made some changes to his stance. He made some, hey, I'll take that small sample size, because we're going to go backtrack a little bit. Okay, say Jarren Duran, it's like you guys say, it's fair. Who are we going to give up to DFA? Because we can't say Ort. Ort's already gone for Alfaro, like, regardless.
Right, so now you're going to put James Paxton on the 60-day IL. That's another spot. Same thing with Wong. Wong might start on the. I don't think Wong's going to go on the 60, but I think Paxton 100% will.
So Paxton, but what, you want another pitcher on there? The cover for Paxton?
Well, we could go with Zach Kelly, or Zach Kelly, Josh Winkowski. I mean, they can go with the guys they already have on the 40-man roster. I mean, it just depends. See, we got to see. So if Alfaro's a definite, that's one. I think Tapia is a definite, that's two. And then you might need another pitcher, so that's three. So if you've got Paxton, Ort, and then is there one other guy that we can?
Mondesi?
I don't think he's going to go on the 60. Because if they go on the 60, they're not going to be able to play until June, right? Basically.
Yeah. Like
late May. I mean, I don't think some of those guys are going to, like, you're not going to do that with Wong or who did you just mention? Mondesi. Yeah, I don't think Wong or Mondesi are going to go on the 60. I think they're going to be back, by the end of April, early May.
And only, am I right that only pitchers are eligible for the 16-day IL?
I'm not, I got to brush up on my IL. It used to be very simple. It was the DL, right? So it was either the 15, the 30, or the 60. That was it. Now they've changed it all around, because it's to be politically correct. We can't say disabled list. It has to be injured list, right? And then they changed it, so now there's a 10-day. I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know all the rules with the new IL. I just know somebody said that you can't. In other words, if somebody goes on the 10, that doesn't. You can't. They're still they still count on the 40-man roster if they're on the 10-day DL. Whereas you have to put them on the 60-day DL to get that roster spot. So that's why I think Paxton's the only one I think is probably going to go on the 60.
Yep. There's only two types of ILs now. The 15 and the 60-day. Previously,
isn't there a 7-day one for concussions?
Yes, I thought there was.
Yeah. So I just don't see. I don't see them trying to work another spot in there for Tapia. I think they're going to let Jarren Duran on the 40 to get his time to maybe work out a deal. Chaim's always the mad chemist, the mad scientist, working, trying to get the best bang for his buck.
So does he even see the field? Does Duran even see the field for this team? Does he even make it onto the field?
Yeah.
Where?
Like we said before, there's multiple times where they're going to open up the designated hitter spot I see the designated hitter spot for Duvall out in center. I see possibly Yoshida taking a break out in the outfield.
Yoshida definitely will be DH.
So, I definitely sit there and see Jarren Duran getting some time in the outfield.
Which is a scary thought.
Yeah. But at least Tapia's in our team this year,
Well, right, but see, so Duran hasn't been playing. Has Duran even played for Mexico in the WBC? In other words, is he getting enough reps? Is what I'm getting at. Because if you're not going to get any reps here, once the season starts, you're not getting any reps from Mexico. When is this guy getting reps? Right? I mean, right now Tapia is looking great. He looks like he's ready to go. And the other thing is, have we ruled out Tapia as the leadoff hitter opening day? Probably unlikely, because he's probably not going to be in the lineup, but we don't know. So, but that's a guy who wouldn't you feel better about Tapia as the leadoff hitter than Duran?
Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah. I mean, I think Red Sox Nation is pretty much in full agreement on this, that we want Tapia. And I think everybody's going to be pretty pissed off if it's Duran and then Tapia's, because you're going to, dude, the 40-man roster thing is not going to get any easier, right? So in other words, once everybody comes back, it's even going to be harder with all these guys. You know what I mean? So it's like, you might as well make your tough decision now and start opening up spots for Tapia.
Yeah. Okay.
And Alfaro, I don't know.
Yeah, Alfaro, he's guaranteed he has to.
Yeah.
We have to open it up because I don't see.
Wong's not going to be ready.
Wong's not ready, and we're not going to just ride with one catcher.
No, you can't. You have to have two catchers. That's mandatory.
Unless all of a sudden they're going to throw Kenley Jansen back there.
That was funny. That was funny. He used to play catcher.
So, but we got two fairs and a foul on that segment.
We finally got a little foul there. We finally got a disagreement.
So, our next segment, Red Sox Twitter is way too toxic. So, Anthony, we'll start off with you on this one.
Yeah, I mean, I think I just, throw that out there because it boggles my mind. The whole thing that happened with Craig Teed, I mean, it was just shocking because, dude, this is Twitter, not Tinder. It's Twitter, okay? Like, what are you here for? Are you're literally up in people's DMs? Like, it's crazy what he did. Then other people, Lansdowne Bounds getting canceled. This guy's getting canceled. That guy's getting canceled. It's like, bro, can we just stick to baseball? Can we just talk baseball? And I think everybody's anxious for the season to start. Everybody's hyped up. There's a lot of some people think the Red Sox are going to be really good. Some people think they're complete trash. So there's already that little tension there. Everybody's waiting for the season to start, and everybody's trying. It's like crabs in a barrel. They're trying to climb up to the top to be the next Red Sox superstar, person, and they're pulling each other down. And it's really annoying, and it really takes the fun out of it. I've been less active the last week just because it's like the whole thing is just like, it's just, what are we doing here? It's like high school cliques and all this stuff. Oh, he said this, she said that, this, that, and the other thing. I'm not here for all that. I'm here more on a serious note to talk Red Sox, and you know what I mean? So I think people are getting too far away from just talking about baseball and about the Red Sox and way too much drama. So I'm going to say absolutely fair. It's way too toxic. It's a turnoff. It's a bad look.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. So, but before I go, let's hit it up. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm gonna go fair. I don't really have too much experience on Twitter. I mean, I had a Twitter, but before we started this, I would only really go on and look at Carabas, Steve Peralt, stuff like that. And I saw the toxicity through their comments and stuff like that. But then dealing with all this stuff with Craig Teed, I didn't know too much about him. And then obviously all the screenshots come out. That kind of hits close home with me. I have 2 daughters at home now, so I don't really mess with that kind of stuff. But to kind of go, what he was just saying, there's a lot of clicky clickiness in the Red Sox Twitter sphere. I feel like there's a lot of gatekeepers. When we all should just kind of be, lifting each other up. We all love the Red Sox. I mean, I'm pretty sure we all love baseball. So I'm just trying to wade through all the bullshit and just, talk baseball with my friends and kind of ignore the rest. But yeah, I definitely stay fair on that. I try to stay out of it. There's been a couple of times where I've had some stuff typed out on my phone, but then I deleted it immediately because I'm just like, there's no point. I don't really want to play into that. You know what I mean? So yeah. I feel like it's kind of like it's therapy for me. Like I'll type out my angry text and I'll just look at my wife and then she'll just tell me to quit pitching and then delete it. So then I just do.
Man,
that's a good practice.
I'm the exact same way. I used to do it before you came over. I used to sit there and be up there at typing those emails out, responding for pass downs, and then I sit there and, is this good? she would look over and be like, yeah, delete that.
Yeah. I'm like, no, she checks my emails, bro. I make sure she checks every email I send out, so I'm not getting in trouble for being too direct.
No matter what you're doing, it's always good to have a second set of eyes on something. You know what I mean?
Oh my God. Yeah.
So, but man, I'm fair exactly with you guys. I look at it as, and I got to sit there and throw out a huge to like Taylor that's on Twitter, Sox Addict, like they have helped us like more than what anyone could have asked for. Just in the past like week, 2 weeks, we've jumped in Twitter followers. Anytime that I sit there and ask, we ask, they retweet, follow these guys. You know what I mean? They have helped us grow so freaking much. And it's those type of people that I want to be around. You know what I mean? Not the negative ones. I hate watching people and just type out stupid stuff like, oh, you're looking at expectations and all this stuff. The reality is the Red Sox are going to suck, dude. Then why are you a fan then if you're already saying they're going to suck? Like everybody has their opinions on what the team's going to do, their expectations of the team. So if you're pushing negativity all the time, that's because you have a piss poor life. In my opinion, you have to. Like, I love the group of people that interact with us and help us on Twitter because those are the ones that we need more of to help one another, help push others. Grandstand Productions has us coming on for the opening day Eve show to help promote us. I've reached out to several podcasts. Hey, you guys got a commercial? We're playing on our podcast. All I ask is you do the same thing, like to help build each other up so we all can sit there and get a piece of the pie. Like Red Sox Nation is huge. There's plenty of room for everybody if we all help each other. Like it irritates me the hell out of me sometimes. And it is 100% fair. I'm hoping that once the season starts, we're going to sit there and ride this nicely. If the season starts out good, Red Sox Twitter is going to be fantastic. But all of a sudden, we start losing 2 or 3 games. Like, then all of a sudden, you're going to hear the negative people come out, and it's just going to be annoying like ever.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm glad that you did highlight the good people that we met. That's what it's all about. I don't really want to waste too much time on it, talking about the negative, but the good people that have helped us. Sox Addict. I know you guys have talked to a little bit more people than I have, but she's been awesome. She's probably the one that I know the most so far. I mean, I don't really interact with her too much, but there are good people in this side of the Twitter. But I mean, just like anything else with the internet, you're gonna have the duds. You're gonna have the trolls. I just try to ignore them now at this point.
Yeah, it's a lot of young people, and they have like multiple accounts. They're kind of like playing games on Twitter and just trying to like troll people and do this stuff. Like, so yeah, it's more of a young. I think it's more of a young thing.
But I rode my bike when I was younger, man.
Yeah, exactly. Skinned your knee, flew off your bike, skinned your knee, got rub some dirt on it.
Oh man.
Yep.
Well, why'd you got to bring up going off a bite? Because the first person I thought of was Chris Sale. Like I don't know why.
Bro, you better knock on some wood.
Right there. But no, just to throw her out there. I don't know why we keep bringing her up because she's so amazing. But Sox Addict went in our DMs and was like, "Hey, can you retweet this?" And I sit there, I'm like, "Sure." Like, why do you even ask? Like, anytime I see anything of hers, I retweet it because she does the same for us. Like, and that was when she was with Keith Polk at his son's college baseball game, and she's trying to help us out dramatically for Keith Polk. She's talking.
Speaking of Keith Polk, I actually reached out to him in like 2014 on Twitter in the DMs, and I was like, "Yo, man, I'll send you a ball if you sign it, and I'll pay for postage there and back." And he said, "Yeah, send me his address." I never sent that out. So Keith Polk, if you ever listen to this, I need that address again, big dog.
Hey, hopefully Sox Addict can help us out where he's on the podcast. So,
yeah, sweet.
And last but not least, for fair or foul, Alfaro will be our number 2 catcher through the duration of the season over Connor Wong. DC, let's start with you.
I'm going to go fair. I'm just a big fan of Alfaro. He's exciting. He hits piss missiles. It's not a knock on Connor Wong. I just getting hurt kind of definitely put him behind. Alfaro's been taking advantage of the playing time. I'm going to say if he continues to play like he is, and he's good backup, don't fix what's not broke. What's that saying? Don't fix what's not broke. Something like that. I don't know. I might be too young for that, but yeah, I'm gonna go fair with Alfaro being number 2 throughout the duration of the season.
Yeah, I love that too. Anthony, what about you?
I'm gonna go foul. I just I like Alfaro. I think he's definitely going to have a month or so to prove himself. The issue, I guess, the biggest concern is the defense. You know what I mean? Is he going to be good enough defensively? I mean, it's a close one. I mean, I could definitely, see him providing a spark offensively, he could even DH as well. So you might see all 3. And that's kind of what I'm getting at. Put it this way. Connor Wong will have a good role in this team this year. So if that means all 3 guys are in there, and Alfaro can play some DH, I don't know. But Connor Wong I will say this, Connor Wong will catch more games for the Red Sox this year than Jorge Alfaro.
Ooh,
so
okay.
I guess I'm saying foul.
Okay.
I'm a big Connor Wong fan.
I'm going to say fair on that one because just like DC said, and that just like Aquaman hit that piss missile last night all the way to Krypton, man.
It was a bomb.
That bat, like his defense does worry me though. His defense worries me.
Right.
But if Tech is able to help him out, maybe Tech, sees a little bit that he's doing wrong, and try to help with fixing bad habits, that might help us out. But I think duration of the season, we need Alfaro's bat up there more over than Connor Wong's bat. So I'm going to go fair with that one. So guys, that was a great episode, great edition of Fair or Foul. So now we're going to bring in the closer and closing thoughts. Anthony, what about you? Hit us up with some closing thoughts.
Yeah, no, I mean, I haven't, I don't know what's going on in this game. It's maybe started a half an hour ago after the podcast. I'm going to jump on and watch the game and enjoy. Hopefully, the USA goes all the way and plays Japan. I'm looking forward to that, and I'm very excited, obviously, for opening day. This team's rounding into shape. I think people are starting to kind of realize that they're better than what they're not a 75 win team. I think a lot of people are kind of figuring out they're better than that their offense is a lot better than that, and their pitching's a lot better than that. So, yeah, I mean, I've been saying that all along, so it's nothing new to me. But I think this team's going to be really good this year, and I'm just excited for opening day and enjoying the WBC. So,
Goldschmidt had a first inning home run.
Nice.
So.
Guy's a stud. That guy's an absolute stud. I mean, they have him and Arenado as our 3-4 hitters, right? And that's St. Louis's 3-4 hitters. So I guess St. Louis has a pretty good middle of their order, right?
Yeah. So DC, what about you, man? Some closing thoughts.
I'm just excited to get off and watch this game. Kind of like you two, probably gonna be doing the same thing. Hopefully, see United States, carry on to the finals. I know that might not be the popular answer for the Ritt over here. But yeah, no, just excited. 10 days away or so to opening day. Excited for that live show. Seems like health is coming together, so that's exciting to see. Not too worried about that anymore. Yeah, man, I think we're gonna have some fun. Excited to see what we can do as far as a team and where this podcast goes during the season as well.
Yeah. Hey, my closing thought is, I was thinking, like all the great seasons the Sox had, where they won a World Series, they rallied behind something. And my man Justin Turner was taking live BP. So I'm like, man, let's sit there and think. I think this year should be throw some dirt on it. That should be the Red Sox motto, because Justin Turner, after taking that ball to the face, is back there for live batting practice already. Man, throw some dirt on it. That's it. A lot of people were sitting there saying JD would have been out 3 months, and probably Justin Turner threw some dirt on it. That's it. So that's my closing thoughts. So guys, head on over to our YouTube, sub, because man, this is crazy. If you want to see our live show, we're going to be on our Twitch channel. We're going to be live on Twitter. We are going to be live on YouTube. We are going to be live opening day. Full house, 10 people. And
Nice.
Poor Josh is going to be the odd man out.
We'll take it easy on him.
But man, it's great. Love talking Sox with you guys. Just remember, head on over to iTunes, Spotify, check us out. Tell a friend. Our road dog Annie at work just posted it live on Facebook. Our podcast to all her Bostonians. If that's a word. Is
Bostonians.
So, but guys.
Well, yeah, hold on. You want to let them know, since you got that voice, just let them know about that Marcelo Meyer first Bowman we're gonna give away.
So what do we got? A Marcelo Meyer card giveaway here?
Yeah, since we hit over 300 followers on the Twitter, I'm gonna give one of those away. So we'll put on Twitter and all that. It'll be easy. Like, retweet, tag somebody, something small. But Marcelo Meyer first Bowman.
Nice. That should definitely, that should be very sought after, because this kid's been, it's been exciting. This one last thing, it's just been exciting to see him playing for the Red Sox this spring, right? I don't know if anybody was expecting, just to see him on the field in a Red Sox uniform has been nice. So I think a lot of people are excited about him, and that card, that's great, man. I'm sure there's a lot of people who are going to be interested in. So make sure you're following on Twitter to be part of that giveaway, and subscribe on YouTube and everything. Make sure you're following everybody and subscribing to everything so you can get in on those giveaways. Marcelo Meyer rookie Bowman.
And we'll get that on probably Monday or Tuesday. We'll put it up on Twitter and then maybe draw it. We could wait until opening day to get a week and a half in there, or we could draw it by this weekend or something like that. We can figure that all out, though. So make sure to check that out.
Yeah, definitely. I was giving away my second David Ortiz autograph for opening day.
Okay, so we'll do the Marcelo Meyer before, and we'll hook him up with the David Ortiz on opening day. Cool.
So guys, thanks for sitting there and checking out the Pesky Podcast. He is DC. He is Anthony, where he lives on the Cape. I am the Ritt. See you guys next time on the Pesky Podcast.
See ya.